We have clips of multiple Democrats from Jasmine Crockett to Ted Lieu sounding off on MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump over a litany of controversies and issues from the last week or two, largely that are being glossed over by major media, focusing in on Biden instead. So I thought this would be a great of time as any to actually look into these and discuss these very pertinent and very real issues that the right really doesn't want you to know about.
And if you want to talk about protecting elections, maybe my Republican friends ought to start telling the truth about the last election. And let me remind them that the leader of their party tried to submit fraudulent slates of electors to steal the last election. That's voter fraud, my friends. That's what voter fraud looks like. And my friends on the other side of the aisle said, not a thing. Not a thing. After court after court after court upheld the fact that we had a free and fair election. But the former president actually submitted fraudulent slates of electors to try to change the result of the last election.
Republicans care so much about election integrity. That's why they're voting for a man who tried to install fraudulent electors not certified by the state in hopes to steal himself the election and remain in power unconstitutionally and undemocratically. That's why they're the party who tries to rewrite districts to cut out the black population, disenfranchise their votes, and retain more in power through congressional seats. That's why they want voter ID laws that only stand to further disenfranchise black voters, even though there's no widespread fraud that can be connected to the lack of voter ID laws. That's why they're fine with the military using mail-in ballots, but they want to eliminate every other form of mail-in ballots, even though most of them, over 90%, come with identifications, in hopes to eliminate those who are unable to in-person vote from age or sickness or being in infirmary care. You can't be fooled by this party's silly attempts at trying to take the high ground on this issue when their president is the one who pressured state officials to find him non-existent votes in hopes to stay in power, and then tried to pressure Mike Pence to break the Constitution to, again, undemocratically stay in power. It's all farcical nonsense.
They found him guilty not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6. I could keep going on, but 34 counts were given. So the opinions of these people who were not juries is not what we do in this country. In this country, we have a system in which jurors decide who is found guilty, and if you have a problem with that, you go to the appellate court, which the last time I checked, he was raising money so that he could go to the appellate court and appeal his decision, and they will have the final say so. Thank you so much.
We're supposed to believe that Republicans are the party of law and order, that nothing the Supreme Court rules on can be discussed or disavowed in any manner, that the George Zimmerman case was fair, that the Kyle Rittenhouse case was fair, that Republicans, how they've told us for years, that bias against black people in the court systems doesn't exist. Systemic racism does not exist. The Hunter Biden with a Trump voting Republican judge is completely fair. But everything against Donald Trump is rigged, from his civil rape suit to his 34 felony counts. We're supposed to believe that over 60 court cases not finding any evidence or merit in the claims of 2020 election fraud were all rigged, but the Supreme Court stopping the Florida recount in 2001 was fair. It's all clear that Republicans just love playing the victims, lying, and cannot take accountability for anything that doesn't go their way.
Because apparently they're more concerned about the freedom of our refrigerator than the freedom to make decisions about our own bodies. They're more concerned about our dishwashers than they are about democracy. And they're more concerned about appliances than an autocrat who is seeking re-election, who says he wants to be a dictator on day one. So I ask my colleagues, honestly, how do you do this with a straight face? Because y'all, this ain't normal. This is insane. Is this the freedom and democracy that our country fought for? Arguing for kitchen appliances? Is this what your constituents are telling you? Because mine are telling me that they're terrified about the future of this country and about their families and their rights. They're asking us to fight to protect LGBTQ rights and abortion, to address climate change, to lower costs.
And that just gives the game away for Republicans. They care about issues that play into their donors, not those that play into Americans. Oh, the corporate elites won't be able to make as much money if we put energy limits or regulations on dishwashers or refrigerators, so that that is a starch problem that we have to address right now, and it's more important than women's rights being stripped away depending on their zip code, LGBTQ rights being stripped away writ large, the Supreme Court playing hand in hand to Donald Trump's plan to become a dictator if reelected and enact things like Project 2025, and their base will eat all of that up because it largely boils down to, if Democrats disagree with it, we're for it. Most of them have the smallest understanding on actual politics, economic effects, which party has done better or more of these things throughout the years. They just think Democrats bad, blue bad, like the good little cult members that they are.
Something I've heard that doesn't seem to be being covered are the Epstein files. These files were released, and like Donald Trump's sort of all over this, right? There are pictures of him with Jeffrey Epstein. He's taken multiple plane flights with Epstein, with young girls on board. He is on call logs with Epstein. One of the highest trending hashtags on Twitter right now is about Trump and Epstein. I'm not going to repeat the hashtag because we're in a dignified setting. But yeah, y'all might want to look at that because that's highly disturbing. And again, it shows that Donald Trump is unfit for office. And by the way, he was convicted in a civilian court for sexual assault, convicted in a separate court of 34 felonies.
Trump appears in the Epstein flight log 7 times. He's in multiple pictures with Epstein and was obviously very close with him, including logs showing him and Epstein flying together a multitude of times. The quick whataboutism from MAGA is, but Bill Clinton did it. Well, Bill Clinton's not running for president, first off, and he was also a sleazebag. So if that's your best comparison, yikes. I mean, neither of them should be anywhere near the office of presidency, but it's akin to the little brother getting caught stealing and then telling on his big brother for stealing. It doesn't mean that little bro didn't steal. He's still also in the wrong. That's the problem with whataboutism. It's just to distract from what you're doing wrong. And this isn't the end of Trump's creepiness either. Here is a picture, or a multitude of pictures, of him with his daughter when she was a child. The one whom, by the way, he said that he would sleep with if she wasn't his daughter, in a multitude of inappropriate poses, to say the least. Trump also has a long history of being creepy with teen pageant contestants, from joking about how he would sleep with them, yeah, children, to then walking in on them changing. Yikes. And also just the fact that he literally owned a teen pageant company, hosted them, attended many. That's got to be one of the weirdest shits that's ever been normalized in American culture. And then let's not forget the accusation that he tried very hard to cover up of him molesting a child. This is the character of MAGA. This is who they think represents them and their morals, their ethics, their code of law, and what they should be like, right? And this is exactly what major media should be focusing on.